The solution I refused to try was the one that worked. Jordan ran a small branding agency in Manchester. He wasn't flashy, but he was sharp, clean lines, bold colors, smart storytelling. Clients came to him for depth, for meaning, for identity. In his early years, business was good. He worked with a few well-known UK tech startups, an indie fashion brand from Shoreditch, even a vegan cafe chain that expanded across Liverpool. Jordan took pride in his work. He believed in doing things properly, taking time to understand the brand, the people, the story. No gimmicks, no shortcuts. Then the market shifted. Suddenly, new agencies were popping up young, fast, everywhere. They were loud on Instagram, quick on Canva, fast with trends. Clients started asking strange questions. Do you do reels? Can you get us viral? Jordan bristled. I'm not a social media clown, he muttered after one call. To him, TikTok was a waste of time. Everyone's chasing clicks. I build real brands, he told a colleague. He refused to adjust. He still made high-end pitch decks and mood boards. Still spent hours refining color palettes and typography. Still believed the work would speak for itself. But fewer clients were listening. He watched as people with half his skill were fully booked. He shrugged it off. It's a phase, he said. They'll come back to quality. But deep down, a quiet worry had started growing. What if they didn't? Things didn't go wrong all at once. They started with a quiet inbox. 1 week, no new client emails. Then 2, Jordan told himself it was just a slow patch. But by the 3rd week, he was checking his spam folder just to make sure nothing had slipped through. Referrals, once his lifeline, dried up. People he'd worked with before were now going to content first, agencies flashier, faster, younger. They never said it to his face, but the message was clear. Jordan's way felt old. Then the cash flow problems started. He had enough to keep the lights on, but just barely. Invoices took longer to come in. Some clients delayed payments. Others ghosted him completely. He cut back where he could. No more paid ad experiments, no more expensive stock image licenses. Still, it wasn't enough. One of his 2 part-time staff handed in notice. The other followed 2 weeks later. It's just not stable, they both said, almost apologetically. Now Jordan was alone, answering emails, writing copy, designing mock-ups, chasing invoices all on his own. His co-working space in Manchester's northern quarter sent a polite but firm notice. Rent was overdue. Still, Jordan didn't give up. He doubled down on the methods he trusted. He cleaned up his portfolio. He sent cold emails. He launched a webinar titled Branding in a Noisy World. He spent hours polishing case studies, tweaking every paragraph and headline. But nothing worked. The sign-ups were low. The emails got no replies. The polished PDFs went unread. He was trying everything except the one thing everyone kept mentioning. Social media, reels, short videos, behind-the-scenes content, TikTok. Jordan dismissed them all. That wasn't real branding. That was noise. He couldn't bring himself to do it. But deep inside, he was starting to wonder, what if he was the one stuck? Jordan didn't enjoy networking events, but a friend dragged him to one just to meet new faces, they said. It was in a converted cafe space in Deansgate. Fairy lights, beanbags, free Prosecco. Too loud, too warm, and filled with people who all seemed 10 years younger and 10 times more energetic. Jordan stood near the back with his drink, scanning the crowd. He wasn't sure what he was looking for, maybe someone who still cared about real design. That's when a younger designer walked up to him. Fresh out of uni, bold glasses, big smile. Are you Jordan from J-Craft Branding? The guy asked. Jordan nodded. That's me. I love your stuff, the guy said. Your old case study on that wellness brand? Brilliant work. Jordan smiled a little. Praise still felt good. Then the guy tilted his head. But I had to dig to find your work. It's not online much. Jordan shrugged. Website's up. Everything's there. Yeah, the guy said, but no one goes to websites anymore. He laughed a bit. You should really post your process. Like how you sketch ideas, before and afters. Even just short clips on TikTok or Instagram. Jordan blinked. TikTok? He said, trying not to laugh. You want me to do dance videos to sell logos? The young designer laughed. No, not dancing, just showing how you work. People love that. Jordan sipped his drink and nodded politely. Thanks, he said. But inside, he was annoyed. TikTok, Instagram, Reels. That was the advice now? All fluff, all noise. No one wanted to read deep strategy anymore? He left early. Walking home through the city, Jordan's thoughts circled. He told himself the guy was just young. Didn't know real branding, didn't know depth. Still, the words echoed. No one sees it. 2 weeks later, the email came. His last big client, an eco skincare brand in Bristol, was pulling out. Budget cuts, they said. We've decided to try someone more visible online. Jordan stared at the screen. No anger, no panic, just silence. That was it. No clients left, no pipeline, just bills and a website no one visited. He opened his banking app. His savings were down to 3 figures. Rent for his flat, phone, software subscriptions. It was all about to crumble. He sat at his desk for hours, didn't open his laptop, didn't touch his sketchpad. He just sat, staring at nothing. By evening, he couldn't stay inside anymore. He grabbed his coat and walked aimlessly through the Manchester streets, ending up by the canal near Ancoats. The water moved slow, cold breeze, faint streetlight reflections. Jordan sat on a bench, hands in his pockets. A quiet voice rose inside him. Maybe it's time to shut it down. It felt real this time, not just a bad day ending. He looked at the water, blinking back frustration. Was this it? All the late nights, the pitch decks, the pride in his work, just gone. And then the thought came soft but sharp. What if I'm wrong? Not about his work. He knew it was good, but about how he was doing it. About the world, about people, about pride. What if I've just been proud? He hated the thought, but it wouldn't leave. The next morning, Jordan woke up with the same heavy feeling in his chest. He made tea, sat at the table, and opened his laptop. No new emails, no leads, no miracles. He glanced at the sketchbook beside him. Inside, a logo he'd designed last month, clean, balanced, with a hidden shape in the negative space. He'd loved that one. The client did too. He picked it up and stared at the sketch. Then, without really thinking, he pulled out his phone. He propped it up against a mug. No fancy lights, no intro music, just him. And the logo. He hit record. All right, he said, voice flat, unsure. This is a brand I did for a zero-waste shop. The idea was to combine a leaf with a shopping basket. He walked through the concept. Why he chose that green. Why the font had soft curves. Where he'd started and where it ended up. 5 minutes, no script. He stumbled a bit, said too many times. But he finished it. Then he paused. He stared at the post button on TikTok. He'd created an account weeks ago but never used it. He hated himself for even thinking about this. No one wants this, he muttered. His heart thudded as he clicked upload. The video went live. Instantly, doubt flooded in. He shut the app. That was dumb, he thought. Who's even going to watch that? He didn't check it again all day. Didn't tell anyone he'd posted it. Felt almost embarrassed. That night, lying in bed, Jordan stared at the ceiling. He felt like he'd broken a rule he made for himself, like he'd lowered his standards. But deep down, part of him wondered, what if it wasn't dumb? Jordan woke up the next morning and didn't check his phone. He made tea, fed the neighbor's cat he was looking after, and sat by the window like he always did. He opened his laptop, ready for the same blank inbox. But then his phone buzzed. Then again. And again. He picked it up, expecting spam. But it wasn't spam. TikTok notifications, dozens. He opened the app slowly. 8, 0 views. Dozens of likes. Comments, saves. His eyes widened. He tapped the comments. This is so helpful. Never thought about logos like this. Do you take one-on-one clients? I've been stuck on my rebrand for months. Can you help? Do you do coaching? This is so clear. I love how you explain things. Jordan sat back, stunned. It wasn't viral. It wasn't millions. But it was something. It was proof. Someone was listening. Someone needed what he had to offer. He clicked open his email. 3 new messages, all from people who'd seen the video, asking about services, timelines, rates. One said, I didn't even know I needed branding help until I saw your video. Jordan didn't smile yet. Not fully. He was still in shock. But before he could overthink it, he pulled out his phone again, recorded another video. This time, he talked about color psychology and brand tone. Still no script, still just him. He posted it, and people responded again. Then a third video, then a fourth. Each one got better, each one clearer, each one more him. By the end of the week, his inbox had 12 new leads. Real people, real interest. For the first time in months, Jordan didn't feel invisible. Jordan didn't become rich overnight. But within a few weeks, his calendar started to fill again. He booked 2 brand strategy calls from TikTok. Then someone from Leeds hired him for a full rebrand. An artist from Brighton asked him to design merch packaging. Even an old client came back saying, "I didn't know you were still active, I saw your video." Jordan wasn't chasing viral trends. He didn't lip sync or point at bubbles on the screen. He just showed how he worked sketches, color choices, thought process, no filters, no hype, just him. And people loved it. He realized it wasn't about acting young or being trendy. It was about being visible. Letting people see how the work happened, not just the final product. He still thought the TikTok format was silly sometimes, but he respected it now because it saved his business. One rainy morning, Jordan walked through Manchester's northern quarter. He passed his old co-working building. The window still had the same flyer taped up, "Creative Studios available." He stopped and looked in. For a moment, he remembered sitting there broke, stressed, full of pride. Now, things were different. He worked from home now. He had clients who actually valued what he did. He still did real branding, but now with real reach. He smiled to himself. Not big and dramatic, just soft. Satisfied. "I kept waiting for a clever solution," he said quietly. "But I didn't need clever. I needed simple." Then he walked on, phone in pocket, idea for his next video already forming. Moral lesson: sometimes the answer isn't buried in complexity. It's right there, in the thing you've been too proud or too scared to try. Let go of the ego. Try the thing. Let it work. Follow for more real stories about business growth, failure, and unexpected wins. Subscribe for more adult stories on how to survive and solve business problems.